divisive politics. Let's just use our common sense and enjoy ourselves. I have to say, this is from the organisers and from myself, if anyone is abusive or impolite, we have moderators who will mute them. So that's just how it's going to be. But hopefully we're not going to get there and we'll have a really fun time together. So I think that's as much as you want to hear from me for now. I'm going to pass over to Lieben, who's in New York, who is the co-founder of Tadias Magazine. Are you there, Lieben?
Yes, thank you.
Fantastic.
Tadias, everyone. Welcome, and thank you for joining us on this Sunday afternoon. We have people from various countries around the world, from here in New York and all over the US and England, in Ethiopia, other countries in Europe as well as Africa. So this is truly an international gathering. And on behalf of Tadias Magazine, I also want to thank you, Hewete Haileselassie, journalist with the BBC, for taking your time from your busy schedule to host this the cast and crew of this award-winning Ethiopian film. So thank you for that. And finally, I want to thank the amazing team at habeshaview, which is the first Ethiopian film distribution company on an international level, and for being great partners in organizing this event, especially the co-founder and operation director, Tadias Magazine. So thank you, and not only for this film, but for being at the forefront of the growing and fast-changing film industry in Ethiopia. So thank you, everyone, and I look forward to the Q&A, and I'll pass it back to you, Hewete.
So I'm going to pick it up from you. Thank you so much for having me. This is absolutely my pleasure. And I'm going to pass across to Tadias, who's going to talk a little bit about habeshaview.
I will speak in Amarinya. So we have a mixture of Amarinya and Ingilizinya because we are coming from all over the world. እንኳን ደህና መጣችሁ ሁላችሁም. Hewete, thank you very much for moderating. Lieben for suggesting and co-hosting this with us. ሁላችሁም እንግዶቻችን እንኳን ደህና መጣችሁ እዚህ ላይ ለመድረስ በጣም ደስ ብሎናል። በመጀመሪያ ደግሞ ቱሊፕ ኢን አዲስ ያለው ሆቴል በጣም ምስጋና እናቀርባለን። በኢንተርኔት እና በመብራት ችግር ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ ስለሆነ ሆስትና ካስትና ክሩን በሙሉ እዛ ይዘውልን አስቀምጠዋቸው በደንብ አስተናግደዋቸው እዚህ ላይ እንዲገኙ አድርገውልና እነሱ እናመሰግናለን ማለት ነው። ከእንግዶቹ ቀጥሎ ከካስትና ክሩዝ ስለተገኛችሁ መሽቷል ኢትዮጵያ፣ ግን በዚህ ሰዓት ላይ መምጣታችሁ ጥሩ ነው። ሊበንና Hewete እንዳሉት habeshaview የመጀመሪያ የኢንተርናሽናል ፊልም ዲስትሪቢዩሽን ካምፓኒ ነው። በዚህም ደግሞ ፌስቲቫል ፊልሞቹን ለመውሰድ ውጭ ሀገር እንደሚደረገው የኢትዮጵያን ፊልም ኤርትራን ፊልም ውጭ ሀገር እየወሰድን ፌስቲቫል ላይ ፓርቲሲፔት እንዲያደርጉ ሲኒማ ቤት ደግሞ እንዲታዩ እንደበፊቱም ሳይሆን በደንብ ተመርጦ ሬኮግኒሽን እንዲኖራቸው የምንፈልግ መስሪያ ቤቶች ነን። ከናንተ እርዳታ ጋርና ከናንተ ሰፖርት ጋር ደግሞ ያረግን ነው። በጣም ደስ ብሎናል ማለት ነው። ለመጀመሪያም የኢትዮጵያን ዴሌጌሽን ኮስፖንሰር አድርገን በርሊን ፊልም ፌስቲቫል ፌብሩዋሪ ላይ ሄደናል። ይሄ የመጀመሪያችን ነው። እንቀጥላለን ብዬ ገምታለሁኝ። የኢትዮጵያ ፊልም ሁሉም ኢንዱስትሪው ሰፍቶ እዛ እንደርሳለን ብዬ ነው ማምነው። Thank you again. Enjoy the evening.
ተማሪ ወይ ቅኔ ሚስትህን ፈልጋት በእንተ ስማ ለማርያም ያዛት አትተዋት።
ጋሼ አለሚ
ተቆናኛት።
Director, producer, writer of the film. I think you're still muted, joining us from Addis. Do you want to just unmute yourself? Tell us what led you to this baby, as it were.
Yeah. Thank you. It was a long time ambition for me to produce a film, but when I say a film, I mean a film that speaks to me, a film that represents me, a film that represents my people and my culture. And for a long time, I've been researching so many documents, ancient documents, and some archival materials about what authentic, story can I come up with. And it was a toilsome experience for me. making film is one thing, but making a film with an agenda or something that you like is also another thing. First, I just developed a script, a full-fledged script, and by then, when I just done writing the script, I realized that that was not the story I want to make a film. So after I just done a script, then I just learned that was not the story that I should produce. So I just put aside that script and I start researching, just forget about scripting, forget about filming, forget about anything, just research about the content and the story. When you think about film, usually film thinks that the young people or the modern people or the Westernized people, only those people can, go and watch film. But what about my parents is, all people, those people are not meant to watch films. So that was a hard time for me. If I should make a film, it should be a story that is so close to all of my people, being educated or not educated, being in the countryside or in the city. So I should come up with that story, but the research pays off. I do a lot of research, and finally I come up with this idea to people, chained together, and they go a long way in search of justice. And it was a kind of, a big hit to me, how I didn't heard this story before. Nobody told me about this story. Nobody, in the media, in the radio, I haven't heard about it. And finally, I do a lot of research, and I found it is established fact that a long time ago, 100 years back or something like that, it is a customary law that people tie their clothes. They are a very modest or polite or respectful to each other, and whenever there is a rivalry happens between two people, it is a customary thing to tie their clothes and to go a long way away up until to the queen in its own level, up until the queen or the king in search of justice. So it was a great revelation for me, and I started to develop that. But it was a very scary experience. Knowing it and knowing the potential of it was scary for me, because unpacking that story, write it, in a script form, in its authenticity in terms of dialogue. It is 100 years back. I don't know the dialogue. I don't know the costume. And I don't know the culture, the philosophy. I have to delve into that world. And it is a very scary experience. But after a long time research, and it took me almost 4 years. And I revised the script 11 times. And finally, the script came up with a very strong script. And then I start to take risk, and then we're doing some fundraising. And finally, the production came, and, the acceptance of the audience was also very shaky for me. I'm not sure whether these people, the Ethiopian audience, are not ready to accept that story. But it is also another risk. And finally, it came up very beautiful, and the people accepted it in a very good way, and I'm happy about it, in short.
So you're pleased with what it came up with. We'll have more time for questions from the audience after all of you have spoken, but I just want to pick up one question that was sent in ahead of time by Linda, who I believe has also joined us on the chat. I'm just going to quickly read that out, and then maybe she can come in when we come back to it.
Okay.
But she said, just because you touched upon the historical fact of the enchaining of the complainant and the plaintiff together, she says, I like the way the defendant and claimant were enchained together. What a clever way to resolve differences. How could these old ways and clever logic be used again in this age?
Yeah, that's a very good question. But I doubt that I'm in a position to answer that question. I'm a filmmaker. That is my enthusiasm, my wish, my desire. I wish those old, customary laws would be in place these days. But I don't know. That is something we drop along the way. Being westernized, being modern, we just dropped it. But to me, a more modern, culturally rooted, a good way of, conflict resolution is the old way. But I'm not in a position to restore that. I wish that culture and everything is endured forever in my country, in my life, but I'm not in a position to answer that. But what grabs me in this story is that what if two enemies, very highly rival, two enemies tied their clothes, how can they go together? That's a
that was
very
fascinating.
That's a very gift. It is already a gift from Africa, from Ethiopia, for a filmmaker like me. I'm interested in art, so assuming two rivals, tied together day and night, going for a long day, it is a very adventurous, opportunity for me to hunt for a film. That's my ambition, actually.
Okay,
but
so
the government and the universities, different departments like folklore, philology, Ethiopian history, the African and Oriental study in the different institutions, they are supposed to restore those old tradition in a way that can compatible with the modern, way of modus operandi of legal jurisprudence. But to me, I'm just a filmmaker. I'm ambitious about
just
that
a
story.
filmmaker.
Just
a filmmaker. We'll come back to that. Just for the purpose of timekeeping, we're going to move on to your lead actor, who is Zarihun Mulatu, who is joining us from Addis Ababa. And I understand he's only going to speak to us in Amharic. And I just wanted to take that opportunity to say that if it's too hard for me, I'm going to get help from those on the ground whose Amharic is better than mine. But let's move to Zarihun.
በእያንዳንዳችሁ ቤት ፍርፋሪ ለምን እሱ ይርታ ወይስ እኔ ልርታ? በፍርድ ከሄደች በኩሌ ያለ ፍርድ ሄደች ብትሄድ
እንግዲህ አሁን ያንተ ተራ ነው።
እሺ
ወደዚህ ፊልም ምንድን ነው የጠራ? ለምንድን ነው እንድትሳተፍ እንትን ያልከው? ምንድን ነው የጠራ? ልብ የተጠራው በምንድን ነው? በምኑ? በታሪኩ ነው ወይስ በምኑ ነው?
በመጀመሪያ ሰው ነው የጠራኝ ወደዚህ ፊልም እና ከመጣው በኋላ
ተገደህ አይደለም መቼስ?
ተገደጀ በጭራሽ መርጬ ነው ሁላ በጣም መራጭ ነኝ እና እዚህ ጋር መጣው። ያው ከዶክተር ሞገስ ጋር ተገናኘን። ሳየው በጣም ወደድኩት። የመጀመሪያ ጊዜ እንደውም ታሪኩ ለብቻው ነበር የተነገረኝ እና ማቆ ታሪክ ነው። ከቤተክርስቲያን ነው ያደግኩኝ የመጣሁት እና ይሄ ታሪክ ለኔ አዲስ አልነበረም። በቃ በለሃ ምናምን ነገር ሲለኝ ያንን ህይወት ስላለፍኩበት ያንን ታሪክ ስለማቀው ደስ አለኝ። ሲቀጥል ደግሞ የማንነት ጉዳይ ነው። ስለራስህ ላሰራህ ብሎ የሚጋብዝ ሰው ከተገኘ በቃ እንዴ ማንነት ነው። ስለዚህ ለኔ ቀላል ነበር። የራስን በቃ ስሜን የመናገር ያክል ነበር የቀለለኝ። ስሜት ይሰጥ ነበር። በጣም የሚጓጓ ነበር። እንደውም ቀረጻው ተጀምሮ ተሰርቶ አልቆ እንደዚህ ሰው ጋር ይደርሳል የሚል እምነቱ ላልነበረኝ በጣም ከመጓጓት የተነሳ ከዛም እንግዲህ 5 ጊዜ ኦዲሽን ወስጃለሁ። ብዙ ጊዜ የምናገራት ነገር ነች። 5 ጊዜ ኦዲሽን ስወስድ ምንም ቅሬታ አልነበረኝም። ያም ደግሞ በቃ ለመስራት ያለኝ ትልቅ ጉጉት
5 ጊዜ
5 ጊዜ ኦዲሽን ወስጃለሁ። በነገራችን ላይ 5 ጊዜ ኦዲሽን ስወስድ ለእያንዳንዱ ለአምስቱም ጊዜ ስመጣ ምንም ያለ ተስፋ ያለ መቁረጥ ያለ መታከት ነበር። በቃ የመጀመሪያውን አልፌ ሁለተኛ ሲጠሩኝ እነዚህ ሰዎች ተመችቻቸዋል አልኩ። ሶስተኛውን ሲጠሩኝ በደንብ ተመችዋቸዋል አልኩ። አራተኛው ላይማ በቃ ይሄ ነገር ለሰራው ነው እንዴ? ልክ አምስተኛው ላይ ሲጠሩኝ በቃ አለፍክ ሲሉኝ ማመን ነበር ያቃተኝ። እዛ ሬርስ እየተደረገ በቃ የሆነ ተነሱ ውጡና ምን ሰራበት ቦታ ላይ ከአዲስ አበባ ወጥተን ነበር የምንሰራው። ወደዛ ሄደን ቀረጻ እስኪጀመር ድረስ አላምንም ነበር በጣም። ምክንያቱም ደግሞ መጪው ወቅት ልንጀምር አካባቢ ክረምት ነበር አይደለ ወዳጆቼ? እና እውነት አይመስለኝም ነበር በዚህ ክረምት እንሄዳለን አንሄድም። ስለዚህ በዚህ ክረምት ካሄድን ቀጣይ ላይ እንሰራዋለን ጥያቄ ምልክት የሚገባ ጉዳይ ነበር በኔ። እና ስንሄድ ማመን ነበር ያቃተኝ። ስንጀምረው ደስ ይል ነበር፣ ስንጨርሰውም በጣም ደስ ይል ነበር። እያንዳንዱ ስቃዮች ሁሉ ደስ ይሉ ነበር። እና ለኔ አሪፍ ጊዜ ነበር። በጣም ስለሰራው መኮራበት ደረቴን ነፍቼ የምናገርበት ትልቅ ፊልም ነው።
አይ በጣም ደስ ይላል። 5 ጊዜ ኦዲሽን ስታደርግ ምንም ቅሬታ አልተሰማህም?
ደረ ጠላትሽ ምን ቅር ይልሻል? በነገራችን ላይ እዚህ ስራ ላይ ያለ መስራት በራሱ እድል እኮ ነው። ቢኮዝ ታሪክ ነው፣ ማንነት ነው። እዚህ ጋር የሆነ ነገር አፋርሼ ነገ የራሴ ወንድም የራሴ ሰው የራሴ ወገን እቺ ነገር ልክ አልነበርክም ብሎ የታሪክ ተወቃሽ ከሚያደርገኝ እዚህ ጋር ትክክል አልሰራችሁም ነበር ተብዬ ታሪክ ከመበረዝ አትስራባል ይሻለኛል። ከዛ ውስጥ ደግሞ ካትስራ ማልፈሽ ኖ ችላሃል ትሰራለህ ስትባይ ምን ቅር ይላል? አይደለም 5 ጊዜ 50 ጊዜ ደግሞ የመጡት ሰዎች በጣም ከባባር ነበሩ ባላያቸው መሰማለሁ በዚህ አጋጣሚ ዶክተር ሞገስ በጣም ታግሎልኛል እንድሰራ የውስጥ አዋቂዎች ናቸው ነገሩኝ ምክንያቱም ሁሉም በኔ ማላመኑም ነበር የመጀመሪያ ጊዜ ሲሄድ ጸጉሬ እንደዚህ ምንድነው የሚባለው ባላቶኒ ነው የሚባለው እንደሱ ተቆርጬ ምናምን ነገር ዘንጬ እስኪኛ አርጊ ምናምን ነበር የርኩትና ሁሉም አዩኝና ይሄ ልጅ እንዴት ነው የቆሎ ተማሪ የሚሆነው ይሆን አይችልም በጣም ሩቅ ነበርኩኝ እነሱ ከሚስሉት የቆሎ ተማሪ ጋር ዳይሬክተር ማለት ትልቁ በቃቱ ይሄ ነው የሚፈልገውን ካራክተር የማይጠብቀው ቦታ ውስጥ ዲቴል እዛ ሰውዬ ውስጡ ምናምን ውስጥ ገብቶ ከጀርባው ማግኘት አለበት ሞገስ ያንን ሰውዬ እንግዲህ ወይ ደግሞ ጎበዜን እኔ ጀርባ ላይ ወይ ደግሞ እኔ ውስጥ አይቶታል ያ አይን ያጸጋ ነው በቃ ዳይሬክተር የሚያሰኙና አግኝቶ ታወጣዋለሁ ብሎ ኃላፊነት ወስዶ እነዛር ሰዎች እንግዲህ ሁሉ እኔ አልፋለሁ ብሎ ነው ያስገባኝ ነገ ሄጄ እዛ ጋር የሆነ ስህተት በስት ወይም ደግሞ የሆነ ጥፋት ባጠፋ እነዛ ሰዎች ሁሉ ተወቃሽ ነው የሚያደርጉት አይ አላልነም ሊሉት እግዚአብሔር ይመስገን ተስፋ አደርጋለሁ አላስቆረፍኩትም ያቅሜን ያክል ሰርቻለሁ እግዚአብሔር ያክብርልኝ
በጣም ጥሩ አሁን ለሞገስ የጠየቅነውን ጥያቄ እስቲ ላንተም ደግሞ ልጠይቅ የታሪካዊ አሰራሩ ለዛሬ የሚጠቅመን ነው የህጉ ለምሳሌ ብታስበው ለዛሬ ሁኔታችን የሚጠቅም ነው ወይስ አይደለም
ምንም ይሄ ጥያቄና መልስ ውስጥ የሚገባም ነገር አይደለም
So I'm asking the same question to you that I asked Mogas about whether the justice system is something that we could look at kind of incorporating elements into modern day life or not
ልመልስ
አው መልስ
እና የምንም ጥያቄና መልስ ውስጥ የምናስገባውላ ነገር አይደለም ምን አንዳንዴ እንደውም እንትን ላለው በቃ ወደ ኋላ ነው ይሄድን ያለ ነው ወደፊት ነው ይሄድን ያለ ነው በየጠይቃለሁ ምክንያቱም ከኛ የተሻለ የሰለጠኑት ከኛ የተሻለ የነቁት የኔ አባቶች ይመስሉኛል ሲቀጥል የዚህ ነገር ማረጋገጫ እቺን ሀገር እንደዚህ አድርጎ ማስረከባቸው ትልቅ ማረጋገጫ ነው ይሄ ምንም በቃ መስካሪም ምናምን ነገር የማያስፈልገው ነገር ነው እኛ ደግሞ እንዴት አድርገን ለቀጣዩ ትውልድ እናስተላልፈ ነው ያለንበት ሁኔታ ያስታውቃል ስለዚህ ያ ስርዓት ያ ጊዜ ያ የማሰብ ልዕልናቸው ድንቅ ነበር ምክንያቱም አይታሹ ከሆነ እኔ ስቲል በቃ እዚህ ማህበረሰብ ውስጥ ነው ያደኩት የዚህ ማህበረሰብ ትውልድ ነኝ የዚህ ማህበረሰብ አባል ነኝ በሚስትና በርስት ቀልድ የለብኛል እኔ ሚስቴ እንድትነኪያታ እንዴ እንቋታዩ ሚስቴ እንዴ የጣልኩት ብታዋት ራሱ ሰው ይዟት ማየት አልፈልግም እንደ ብራቅ ያለ ቦታ ያዛት ፍለፊቴ እንዳይዛ እቺን ሴት ነው እንግዲህ ጎበዝ የተብየው ወስዶ ራሱ አልጋ ላይ እንግዲህ ያንን የሚያክል ሰውዬ ባሁኑ ባጠራር እንግዲህ ይሄ ስልጣን ትልቅ ስልጣን ነው መሰለኝ በጣም እና እንግዲህ እዛ ፍለፊት አግኝቶት ጥይት አውጥቶ ተኩሶበት ምናምን ነገር ከተረፈ ሰውዬ ናናና አይሆንም ብለሽ የሆነች ነጠላና ነጠላ መቋጠር የሚል ፍልስፍና ፈጥረሽ አቋጥረሻቸው 15 ቀን ሄዳችሁ ፍርድ አገኙ ማለት ይሄ የሰዎቹን የማሰብ አቅም የሰዎቹን አርቆ ይመቅ እንዴ እኔ የሚገርመኝ ነገር አለ ሰዎቹ ማንንም አይደለም የሚፈሩት ራሳቸው ነበር የሚፈሩት ምክንያቱም ተቆጣጥረው ሲሄዱ በቃ ያበግናል እኮ እንዴ ልርሳው እንኳን ቢባል መሐል መንገድ ላይ ትዝ ይልሻል እኮ እንዴ ከሚስትሽ ጋር ተንግዶ እንዴ ከኋላው ድፍት አርገሽ ነው ልትይው እንዴ ምናባቱ ግን ያ ሰውዬ ያ ነገር የላቸውም ዞር ብለው ሰው አይደለም የሚፈልጉት በቃ ሰውዬኝ አላየኝ አይደለም ቀና ብለው አምላካቸው ነበር የሚያዩት ከላይ የሚያየኛል ነው የሚያሉት በመሸም በገቡ በሆነ ጫካ ውስጥ የሚገቡ ዋሻ ውስጥ የሚገቡ የሚያያቸው አምላክ ነበራቸው ያንን ነበር የሚፈሩት ያ ነገርን ነው የገዛቸው እና 15 ቀን ያንን መንገድ ተጉዞ እንደውም የሚወደው ሲን አለ ሰው ጎበዜ መንገድ ላይ ጣር ይዞት ወድቆበት በቃ ይሰው የተገላገለ ሞተለት ብለን ስናስብ ሰውዬው ሪ ብሎ ያለቅሳል ወይኔ ጎንጤ ያዝናል እንዴ ምናምን ደግሞ ስትይ እንደገና እንዳትወስድብኝ
you're right just let me translate a little bit that is a very powerful scene in the film when the two enchained complainant and plaintiff are together and the plaintiff falls ill and he looks like he's going to die and actually his enemy wants him to live he's actually crying out to God for him to be saved for them to go to justice together rather than rejoicing that he's probably on his last legs and he's going to get his revenge you're right that's a very powerful moment so just ባጭሩ ብትጨርስልንና ወደ የሚቀጥለው ሳንተን እንድንል
እሺ እና በቃ ተቀለል ስናደርገው ያለልናቸው ይገርመኝ ነበር በቃ ትልቅ ሩቅ ነበሩ ከኛ የተሻሉ በጣም ስልጡን ነበሩ ባይነኝ
በጣም ጥሩ እናመሰግናለን so now I'm going to move to your screen wife or on screen partner የምስራች ግርማ who's also joining us from Addis Ababa
ያዛት አትተዋት
አለሚ
ተቆራኛት
አንቺም በአማርኛ ነው እንትኑ the same ጥያቄ that I asked ዘሪሁን what made you want to take part in this film especially as it's not a very modern film. It's a historical film. ስለዚህ ወደዚህ ፊልም ምንድን የጠራሽ? ሰውን የጠራኝ ብሏል ዘሪሁን። ደግሞ እንስማ።
በተመሳሳይ እኔ የሚጠራኝ ሰው ነው። ነገር ግን በወቅቱ የአራተኛ ዓመት የዩኒቨርሲቲ ተማሪ ነበርኩኝ። ያ ወቅት ደግሞ ትራዲሽናል ፕሌዎችን የምንሰራበት ጊዜ ነበረ። ስለዚህ ወደዚህ ኦዲሽን ስመጣ ሰውን ቢጠራኝ ያው ጥበብ ውስጥ ነኝ ያለው በተዘዋዋሪ ጥበብ አንኳኩታ ጠርታኝ ነው ኦዲሽን ተወሰድኩኝ። ከኦዲሽን በኋላ ከመጀመሪያው ዙር ኦዲሽን በኋላ ነው ወደ ፊልሙ መመረጤ የተጠራሁ መመረጤ የተነገረኝ። እንደዚህ አይነት ሂስቶሪካል ወይም ትራዲሽናል ፕሌዎች ላይ መሳተፍ እንደ አንድ የኪነ ጥበብ ባለሙያ ትልቅ እድልም ነው። ለሌላውም ትውልድ ትልቅ አበርክቶ ትልቅ መረጃ ዶክመንት ማስቀመጥ መቻል ነው። ልክ እኔ ምናልባት ዶክተር ሞገስ ፊክሽኑን ከእውነተኛው ታሪክ ጋር አጣምሮ ቢሰራውም ልክ እንደ ማኑስክሪፕት ነው የምንወስደው። እኔ ልክ እንደ ድርሳን እንደ ተቀመጠ አንድ ሰነድ እንደ ዶክመንት ነው የምወስደው ቁራኛዬንና እንደዚህ አይነት ታሪካዊ ስራዎች ላይ መሳተፍ መቻል ማለት በተለይ ደግሞ በዛን ወቅት እንደነገርኩሽ ተማሪ ነበርኩኝ። በተማሪነት ጊዜ እንደዚህ አይነት ትልቅ ስራ ላይ መሳተፍ ማለት ትልቅ እድለኝነት ነውና ከኦዲሽኑ በኋላ እንድሰራ በመመረጤ በጣም ደስተኝነት ነው የተሰማኝ በጣም ማለት ነው።
ወደ ቀጣዩ ተመላልሰሻል?
ኖ እግዚአብሔር ይመስገን ባንዴ ነው መመረጥ የተነገረኝ። እና እንዳልኩሽ የትምህርት ወቅትም ነበረ። ስለዚህ በትምህርት ወቅት እንደዚህ አይነት የሙከራዊ ስራዎችን መስራት ከትልቁ ነው የጀመርነው ማለት ይቻላል። ያው በትምህርት ላይ ይሄን ስራ እድል ማግኘት ትልቅ ነገር ነው ለኔና እንደዚህ አይነት ሂስቶሪካል ፕሌዎች፣ ትራዲሽናል ፕሌዎች፣ ፎክሎር ስራዎች እንደ ኤክስፐሪመንት ግቢ ውስጥ ብቻ ነው የሚሰሩትና ለምን ብለሽ ጠይቂ አብዛኛው ፕሮዲዩሰሮች አብዛኛው ዳይሬክተሮች ከበጀት አንፃር ከልፋት አንፃር አይሞክሩትም አይፈልጉትምና ምናልባት የተለያዩ ጀነሮች ነው እየተሞከሩ እያየናቸው የመጣ ነውና ከዛ አንፃር ኦዲሽኑ ለኔ መሳካቱ ትልቅ እድል ነው እንደነገርኩሽ። በትምህርት ላይ ደግሞ ይሄን እድል ማግኘት በጣም የተሻለና ትልቅ እድል ስለሆነ ማለት ነው። ሌላው ከቲሙ አንፃር ስንመለከት ወቅቱ ቁራኛ የተሰራበት ወቅት ሀገራችን በብዙ መልኩ በብዙ አቅጣጫ የተወጠረች ጭንቅ ውስጥ የነበረችበት ጊዜ ነበር። ሁለት ሰዎች ሆነን ቁጭ ብለን ማውራት የማንችልበት በብሔር በቋንቋ በብዙ ነገሮቻችን መከፋፈል የጀመርንበት ጊዜ ስለሆነ የቁራኛዬ ቲም እነዚህን ነገሮች ቆም ብለን ማሰብ እንድንችል ወደ ትላንት እንድንዞር ትልቅ ማስተማሪያ የሚሆን ቲም የያዘ በመሆኑ ምንም ትወና ቢሆን ትላንት ነበርና ይሄ ነገር ትላንት እንድናስታውስ ወደ ኋላ መለስ እንድንል ፎክሎሮቻችንን ትራዲሽኖቻችንን ሰነቃሎቻችንን ዋርካ ስር ቁጭ ብለን የምንመካከራቸውን የምንታረቃቸውን በሽማግሌ መለስ የምንላቸውን ነገሮች እንድናይ ያረገን ቲም የያዘ ስለሆነ በብዙ መልኩ እድለኛ ነኝ። እንደ ዜጋም እንደ ኪነ ጥበብ ባለሙያም ኪነ ጥበብ እንዳላት ዋጋም ትልቅ ስራ ላይ ተሳትፌያለሁ ማለት ነው።
Thank you. Next, I'm going to pass on to the cinematographer of the film Unchained. That's Billy McConnon. He's also joining us from Addis.
ቻሌንጁ ምንድነው? አንድ ያልኖርነውን ዓለም በዛ ጊዜ ከንባብ ውጪ የማናቀውን ዓለም አሁን ላይ ሰርቶ ያንን ዓመተ ምህረት ያንን ዘመን ያንን መቸት ማምጣቱ በጣም ቻሌንጅ ነው። ከትርክት ከንባብ ውጪ ምንም ከፎቶ ውጪ ምንም ኢሜጅ የለንም።
What made you get involved in this project?
መጀመሪያ እዚህ ፕሮጀክት ላይ እንድገባ ያደረገኝ ከዶክተር ሞገስ ጋር ከዚህ በፊት የሰራነው ዶክመንተሪ እና አንድ ፓይለት ፕሮጀክት የቲቪ ሲሪየስ ፕሮጀክት ነበርና እዛ ላይ አይ ቲንክ አቅሜንም ችሎታዬንም ፓሽኔንም አይቶ ነበርና ሁሌ ፊልም ለመስራት ያስባል። ስንሰራ አብረን እንደምንሰራ የሚያስብ ነበር። ቀኑ ደርሶ የቁራኛዬ ክሩ ሴሌክሽን ሲጀመር ያው ዶክተር ሞገስ የመጀመሪያው ምናልባት የመጨረሻው ምርጫው ነኝ መሰለኝ። በዛ ምክንያት እኔን ለኦዲሽን ጠራኝ። ሲቪዬን አየው። ከዛ ደግሞ በመሃል ረጅም ጊዜ ሳንገናኝ ቆይተን ስለነበረ ምን ላይ ደርሻለሁ ምን ጨምሬያለሁ ምን አፕግሬድ አድርጌያለሁ የሚሉትን ነገሮችም ዲስከስ አደረግንም። ከዛ በኋላ ስክሪፕቱ ተበተነ። በዛ መንገድ ነው ሴሌክት የተደረኩት እኔ።
በውጤቱ መቼም ደስተኛ ነህ? You're happy with the result?
አዎ እንዳሰብነው ባይሆንም ውጤቱ ባለው ነገር ደስተኛ ነኝ።
እንዳሰባችሁት አይደለም?
እንደ ዝግጅታችን እንዳሰብነው ልንሰራው እንዳሰብነው መጠን አልነበረም። ብዙ ቻሌንጆች ነበሩት። ያልኖርነውን ህይወት ነው የምንሰራው ኦብዘርቭ ያላረግነውን ከንባብ ውጪ ምንም አንደርስታንዲንግ አልነበረንም ከዛ ደግሞ ቦታው በጣም አስቸጋሪ ነበረ ክረምት ነበረ በዛ ገጠራማ ቦታ
የት ነበር የተቀረጸው
አንኮበር ነው የቀረጽነው
አንኮበር
አዎ ብዙ የእግር መንገድ ይበዛዋል ለመኪናም በጣም አስቸጋሪም ስለነበረ የቀረጻ እቃችንንም አንዳንዴ በሸክም ይዘን ነው የምንሄደው ከዛ ሴታፕ አድርገን ነው የምንሰራው ወይዘሩ ደግሞ በጣም ከባድ ነበረ ከአየር ጋር ከታይም ጋር የሲኒማቶግራፈር ስራ ታውቃላችሁ ከብርሃን ከጥላ ጋር በጣም ሽሚያ ይኖራል እነዚህ ነገሮች በጣም ቻሌንጆች ነበሩብን እንደገና ሄድንበት ሀገር ደግሞ ብዙ ፊልምን አንደርስታንድ የማያረጉበት ክልል ውስጥ ስለነበረ ይቀራሉ ኮንቲኒቲ ይበላሻል ለቅሶ ነው ዛሬ አንመጣም አጨዳ አይቻልም ብዙ ሲኖች ካሰብነው ከኛ ኮንትሮል ውጪ ወይዘሩን ጨምሮ ይወጡ ነበር በዛ ሰዓት ብዙ ነገር ኮምፕሮማይዝ እንድናረግ ተገደናል እንጂ ፕሪፕሮዳክሽን ላይ ከዳይሬክተሩ ጋር እንዲሁም ከአሲስታንት ዳይሬክተሯ ጋር ሆነን ሹት ስኬጁል ስቶሪ ቦርድ በደንብ ተዘጋጅተን ከለሩ ምን ይምሰል ሹት ስታይሉ ምን ይምሰል ያንዳንዷን ነገር በደንብ ተዘጋጅተን ነው ይሄድ ነው ኢቭን ስለ ሹት ስታይሉ ስናወራ ምንድነው የዛሬ 100 አመት አኗኗራቸው አሁን እንዳለው ጥድፊያ አይደለም ለሰው ቫልዩ ዋጋ ይሰጣሉ ቸኩለው እንኳን ከፈረስ ወርደው ቤተሰብ ልጆቹን ያለውን ነገር ጠይቀው ነው እንደገና ፈረስ ላይ ወርደው የሚሄዱትና የሰው ልጅ ዋጋ ነበረው አሁን ሃይ ተባብለን አንነበረም የምንሄደውና ኑሯቸውም ጥድፊያ አልነበረውም ሾቱ እንዳይጣደፍ ዘለግ ያሉ ሾቶች ይሄ ሆሊውድ ያስለመደን ፋስት ከት ሾቶች አሉ ከሱ የጸዳ ማህበራዊ ኑረታቸውን ቤዝ ያደረገ አኗኗራቸውን ያማከለ የሹት ስታይል መምረጥ ነበረብን ዘለግ ያሉ ብዙ ያልተቆራረጡ ቅንጭብ ያሉ የማስታወቂያ ያልመሰሉ ሾቶች ከማህበራዊ ሁኔታ ጋር አሁን እንዳሁኑ ቴክኖሎጂ አጣድፎን ሁሉ ነገራችን ወክቢያና ለሰላምታ እንኳን ጊዜ የሌለብን ሰዓት ላይ ደርሰናልና ያን እንዳይመስል አኗኗራቸውን አጥንተን ሾቱ የዚህን ይምሰል ቀጣይ ደግሞ ሉኩ ምን ይምሰል ሲባል በእኛ በኢትዮጵያውያን ታሪክ ብዙ ነገራችን የብራና ከለር ሲመስል የድሮን ታሪክ ያስታውሰናልና ሉኩ ብራና ይምሰል ወይ የጧፍ ከለር ይምሰል ይሄን ሉክ ብንሰጠው ኢዝሊ ሰው 100 አመት በዛ ከለር ብቻ ወደ ኋላ ተመልሶ ያንን ምናብ እንዲስል ያደርገው ይችላል ሉኩ ከሚለው ከከለሩ ያበሻ ከለር ይኖረው ኢትዮጵያዊ ቀለም ይኖረው ኢትዮጵያዊ ሾት ስታይል ይኖረው ኢንተርፕሬቴሽኑ የሆሊውድ ጫና የዌስተርን ፊልም ጫና ሳይሆን የኛን የሚመስል ትረካ የካሜራ ትረካ እንዲኖረው ቀድመን በጣም ነው የተዘጋጀነው እርግጥ ነው ተሳክቶልናል ያሰብነውን ደግሞ ብንሰራ ከዚህ በላይ ነበር ሁሉ እርካታ የለም ለዛ ነው እንደገና ሌላ ፊልም እንድንሰራ የሚያረጋግንም ብንረካን ቆም ነበር አሁን ስላላረካን ቁጭታችንን ደግሞ ከዶክተር ሞገስ ጋር በቀጣይ ስራ ደግሞ እየተንገበገብን በተሻለ እንሰራለን ብለን እናስባለን
በጣም ጥሩ so now I'm going to open up the floor for all of your questions but let me just kick it off with one question which came in from an audience member earlier and that was for Mogus and I'm just going to paraphrase it while I find it but the question basically is how would justice have been delivered had the lead character been shot dead when he was shot by his lover's husband in the earlier part of the film
okay that's a very good question research shows if he shot his enemy he lose justice because he is humiliated in the community.
Okay.
You know, the other rival by sleeping with his wife, the community knows that. So he is humiliated. So he has to bring him by any cost before he died. He has to bring him to the justice in front of the community. He has to litigate him. He has to debate him. He has to show how he is a well-educated, well-versed law litigator, and finally he has to get his justice. He has to vindicate it in front of in the community. If he kills, he loses. So for them it is unthinkable. It is a model thing to go and kill him. So in one time he was offered he has all the opportunity to kill him, but he prefers to take him to the queen and to litigate him. On their way, he is studying his psychology, the psychology of his rival, how he is competent, what is his arguments, how strong he is in front of the queen. So he was spying him, and finally he knows how to beat him at that level in the community and in front of the queen. The queen is a representation of the God. So he has to be vindicated in front of God, in front of the queen, in the community. That is his aspiration. But killing him is, he might get his justice for him, but he remains humiliated in the community. So for him, he prefers to stay him alive. Even researchers shows the ones offended must take care of the offensive party. Feeding him, protecting him from the danger, protecting him from some, bandits on the way. So that is the law. He has to protect him and bring him to justice. That is the way they think at that time.
Okay, thank you. That was a question from Mesfin. So if anybody else would like to ask their own question, I can see Dr. Quragnaye has put his hand up. So maybe if you unmute yourself. Hi, welcome.
Yeah, welcome. Thank you very much. From Germany, it's Quragnaye Degina. በመጀመሪያ ደረጃ ዳይሬክተሩንም ሁሎቹንም ላመሰግን ፈልጋለሁ። በጣም ለኢትዮጵያ ፊልም ኢንዱስትሪ ማይልስቶን ይመስለኛል። ምክንያቱም በጣም ሞኖቶን ሆነ ዋን ሳይድድ የሆነ ፊልሞች ነው በብዛት የሚታዩ የህብረተሰቡን ችግር አፍልቀው ሊያወጡ የሚችሉ የኛን ታሪክ ማንነታችንን ሊገልጹ የሚችሉ ፊልሞች አይደለም በብዛት ስናያቸው የነበረው። በዚህ አኳያ በጣም የሚደነቅና ኮፒ እስካልተደረገ ድረስ ሌሎቹም ተመሳሳይ በሆነ ሁኔታ ሌላ ፊልም እንዲሰሩ አሻራ የሚያስቀምጥ ነው ብዬ ነው የምገምተው። ትልቅ ወደፊት እርምጃ ነው። እንግዲህ ፕሮፌሰር ኃይለ ገሪማም ከዚህ ትንሽ ሊማሩም ይችላሉ ያለው። የኔ ጥያቄ ያው ከባለቤቴ ጋር ነበር ፊልሙን ከልጆቼ ጋር ነበር ያየሁት። እነሱ አማርኛ ስለሚከብዳቸው ጀርመኖች ስለሆኑ ሰብታይትሉ በጣም አንሶብን መነጽርም ማድረግ ያስፈልገው ነበር። እዛ ላይ ምናልባት የሚጨመር ነገር ካለ ለወደፊት 4 ጥያቄዎች አሉኝ። አሁን ሁለቱን ጠይቅና የሚቀጥሉትን ጊዜ ካለ ለመጠየቅ ፈልጋለሁ። አንደኛው እንግዲህ አሁን ይሄ ፔንት ፒክቸር ኢን ማይንድ የሚሉት ወደ ኋላ ወስዶ ከ100 ዓመት ፊት ማን እንደነበርን የሚያሳየን ታሪክ ነው። እኔ ፊልሙን ካየሁ በኋላ ስለሱ ሳስብ ነበር የቆየሁት እና ግን እንዴት ነው የኢትዮጵያ የገጠሩ ህብረተሰብ እነዚህ ፋንዳሜንታል የሆኑት ልጆች ናቸው፣ ህፃናቶች ናቸው። ፊልሙ ላይ ህፃን ልጆችን እንደ ኤክስትራስ ለማየት አልቻልኩኝም። አሁን ንግስቲቷ ጋርም ሲሄዱ አንቀልባ ላይ ልጆች አላየሁኝም። ልጆች የሱን ማጣቴ ነው አንደኛው። የሚጫወቱ የሚወርቁ የገጠሩን ህይወት የሚሰጡት እነሱንም በተመሳሳይ ዶሮዎች ሲንጫጩ ምናልባት ለስራው ከባድ ሊሆን ይችላል። ይሄንን ነው። ሌላኛው ምን አይነት ጀነርን ነው ይሄ ፊልም? ዛጋ ነው? ድራማ ነው? ሮማንስ ነው ወይስ ሂስቶሪካል ነው? የትኛው ቦታ ብለን ነው የምንመድበው? አመሰግናለሁ።
በጣም አመሰግናለሁ ስለ ጥያቄ። ጊዜንም ወስደን ፊልም ለማየት ስለቻላችሁ ከቤተሰብ ጋር በጣም ደስ ይላል። አመሰግናለሁ። ለፊልም ሰሪ ፊልሙ ሲታይለት በጣም ያስደስታል ማለት ነው። በተለይ በእንደዚህ አይነት ርቀት ኮኔክትድ ያደርጋል። አርት ወይም ፊልም ያገናኛል የተለያየ ህዝብን። ያ በጣም ያስደስታል። ጥያቄው ጥሩ ነው። ያነሳው ፖይንት በጣም ጥሩ ነው። ሙሉ በሙሉ አክሴፕት እናደርገዋለን ወይም ቀበለዋለሁ። I can understand, the potential that if we include children of those age, the film might be very much, authentic to me. It represents all society in all walks of life. That's a very good. But as you said, from the filmmaking standpoint, managing those kind of people's kids, might be a bit challenging. But despite the fact that issue, we still have some children in the film. If you remember, when Alame and Gobaze go back in their memory, we have children, their childhood memory, how they just experience first love in the field while they just shepherding in their own village. We have those experience. And even at the Queen's Court, he remembered that old story, and he just touched a very toddler, and he touched him, and he just reminding us how his first love was experienced with his love. We have a little bit representation of those, children. But as you said, it is a very good comment. I like it.
Okay, thank you.
And about the genre of the film, it is historical drama for us. For me, I personally like historical drama because I come from documentary background, and if we just tie our films with some historical element, the authenticity of the film might be big. It is magnificent, and it just puts some big thing in their mind because it is based on true story. It is historical. If you just see the Queen, nobody knows about the Queen. But now, when you see the Queen, it's just near a true life representation, the story. Because if you know the Queen, she has that experience. And now, when you just follow the historical line of the Queen in the story, you know that is a fact. But about Gobeze and Alame, that is also a fictitious story. It's a plot, another plot. When you just tie the two together, you realize that's not just a story, just one fictitious story, but it is near life experience, a real life experience story that grabs the audience and that keeps in their mind, and it teaches them a lot. So that, coming from a documentary background, I'm very much interested in historical drama, and that might be my genre for the foreseeable future. And I like that element a lot. So simply, it is an historical drama film.
Thank you, Morgus. And I think we've been discussing the themes of justice kind of authentically and automatically without even looking at the clips. But we also wanted to look at one of the other big themes in the film, which is, of course, the love affair and love and the romance embedded within the film. So I think if we can just quickly go to the love clip as well, then we can move the discussion onto that theme.
Alami. ተቆራኛት
the love scenes within the film. I want to open up the floor if anybody wants to ask a question on the theme of love. And if anyone wants to, can they just silence? Okay. I've got one question here I've got Henok Tadias has put his hand up. So if you want to just unmute yourself and go for it.
Yeah, thank you. But this question is not about the love theme. So I hope I'm okay to go ahead.
You try it out. Let's see.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for the film crew. I think you did a stellar job. Really like the storyline. The setting and the production, everything was spot on. Having said that, I have a question related to the translation. As was said by the previous questioner, the subtitles were tiny to begin with, but also they were written in white font, and most of the time they weren't quite visible. But the question that I want to ask is, how much effort has gone into translating? Because this is a rich, there's rich language involved, and I wasn't quite sure about the translations in some instances when I read the subtitles. I read recently a book by Hewete Haileselassie, Mind to Win. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to read it, but she's telling a story about Quragnaye in English, and she's done that amazingly well. So, that tells me that our language, even the Quragnaye, which is quite deep and traditional, and which usually has allegorical meaning, can quite effectively be translated into English. So I thought, I just wanted to know, the effort and process that's gone into translating the words, the wording, and the depth in meaning in such a way that it didn't lose the original intent, meaning, not just the meaning, but the flavor as well. I think more effort needs to go into that.
And who do you want to answer the question?
The director, any of the crew.
Okay.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah, the translation, we do a lot of effort in the translation, but the language back then was, it is tough. as a previous, viewer commented, even to understand for the contemporary audience, Ethiopian audience, Amharic-speaking audience, it is a bit tough, the language itself. And translating that is another thing, So it needs its own skill to translate with that level. We do a lot of effort. So first, as the writer of the script, I do the first translation myself into English. Even if I try to speak English, but I'm not qualified to come up with that kind of poetic, Quragnaye, this double meaning, and with all those, language elements. But I try my best. But that was the first kind of translation. But somebody who just stay a long time, in Europe, one of my staff, very good in English, and then who can speak Amharic as well. She does the second translation from my translation, and she does the second translation. And another person, a consultant, who is an English teacher in one CIS, or there is some British school in Ethiopia. She is a well-known English instructor in that school. She do her turn to translate that into a better translation. And that was not also good for many people. Then another partner of our production company, there is in France, IFTA, International Emerging Film Talents Association. They took the responsibility to hire a very, well-qualified who knows how to translate English subtitles. They took all the responsibilities. In every minute by minute, second by second, they translate, and that was the final translation. But on the way, there is a difficulty for me also to experience. For example, Quragnaye Mazraf. Quragnaye Mazraf is not, there is no word equivalent in English as far as I just realized, Quragnaye is zarrafal automatically in Amharic. In English, the word is recite. Recite is something you just get ready, learn or rehearse it, and then you recite. Recite is something you saw here, and then you just omit it out, that is something, reciting means. But in Quragnaye, that's not the case. Just the instructor or the yanta or the teacher tells you something. He tells you a story. Then listen, you just listen that story. Then you are supposed to come up with a very strong Quragnaye, automatically, spontaneous, just on the spot. And there was no an equivalent English word for that. The only equivalent English word was recite. But we just use that word recite, but it cannot represent our Amharic equivalent Mazraf. So we can't even find. So such kind of barriers and difficulty in language, we observed as an Ethiopian in parallel to other language like English. But sometimes you just try to address with existing language capability of English, and we just put it that in the
Thank you.
subtitle.
Thank you, Morgan.
Thank you so much. I need to go to the next question. Sorry, Henak, I need to go to the next question. I've got Solomon GS. Your hand is up. If you just unmute yourself, and I think your question is on love. Yeah, thank you. Go ahead.
Thanks so much. My question is not related to love, but it's a general question about the film, if you let me to ask. Thank you so much.
Go ahead.
በመጀመሪያ እንደገና ስላየኋችሁ የቁራኛዬ የፊልም አዘጋጆችና ክሩ በጣም ደስ ብሎኛል። የምጠይቀው ጥያቄ ምንድነው? As we remember that we watched the film in London back in October 2019. I remember vividly, it is 21st of October. It was a really amazing experience for me. It's a really nice film, traditionally valuable and organic, to say the least. Having said that, where are you now? How was the response by the audience, both internationally and back home in Ethiopia? I would like you, Dr. Mogas and Cole, you may answer this question, just to tell us the response in our country, especially from the young generation. How did they see it as a film? And how is the audience, both internationally and in Ethiopia as well, in general terms? Dr. Mogas, and what do you say, hand on heart, when you looked behind, is it worthy given the resource, I mean, time, the money that you spent on the film, you had dispersed, consumed on this film? What do you think? I mean, what do you say? Thank you so much.
It is a very good question. I can represent myself and my team here also as to where are now after the production of Quragnaye. Quragnaye was a great experience for us. It is my film debut. It is my first virgin, kind of film production. And in that, I go a long way and take a lot of risk. Totally unthinkable when I think it from now. And so it pays off. It pays off a lot in its way, It might not return my costs. It cost me a lot financially, but it did not return 1/4 of my cost yet. But it is foundational for me. When you do some investment, for instance, if you just create some business investment, the first thing is you have to invest. And later on in so many years, the production or the business might pays you well. That was my calculation. But Quragnaye pays it a lot. The audience, the Ethiopian community accepted very well. Not only the audience, but on different level. The intellectual community, we have been screening the film, inviting by the Ethiopian Science Academy. It is all the intellectual association in Ethiopia. Most of the intellectuals in the city and in the country, and they watched the film and they acclaimed it a lot. And even for some school and the international audience, different African film festivals, it was screened and the people liked it a lot. I remember even in New York, a few months back, it was screened at the African Film Festival, and one of the professor in the Columbia University make a remark that I couldn't forget in my entire life. She said, the story was not a story of a victim. It is a story of a triumphant. For instance, other African countries are not positioned to make a story of a triumphant. The lead characters, both the two rivals, are triumphant by themselves. If you make a story of Nelson Mandela, he's a victim. He's a victim of apartheid. But these two lead characters are not victims. They might be rivals, but they are not victims of any, Western kind of repression. They are free by themselves. They don't care about the Western world, about the Western civilization. They are civilized by themselves. And to make a story like that was, an experience, a triumphant people, a triumphant story. So in many ways, it teaches us a lot. The audience accepted it a lot. But now is a time for us to get rid of the Quragnaye experience. It is enough about Quragnaye. That was what we are thinking now. We have to move to our second project. We are developing our story. We just completed our second script. It is another very good story. And we have just dropped that experience and that euphoria of Quragnaye, and we have to move to our second film. And we are making a lot of preparation for that.
Okay,
just
thank you.
Thank
you. I'd like to go to Tadias Kabeda, who'd like to also answer the question as one of the distributors or as the distributor. Tadias, are you there?
I'm here. It's a really good question. I think I'll do Amarinya and Ingiliznya. Quragnaye has been a very good original film from the Ethiopian community. It's also shown that Ethiopia can produce some wonderful films, original. The material is there, access is there, but giving it the international exposure it has had means that other people can be looking into it. They might be saying, this is a really good idea, actually there's a future. Beside Ethiopia, it's actually a future to show it worldwide as well. Somebody earlier mentioned pirating. That is one of the biggest problems. የፊልም መስረቅ ነው የተቸገሩት ኢትዮጵያ የነበሩ ሰዎችና ይሄንን ፊልም እዚህ ደረጃ ላይ በኢንተርናሽናል ሌቭል እንዲታይ አድርጎ ሰው ሁሉ እንዲያቀው ሲደረግ ለመስረቅ እንዳይቻል ተደርጎ ነው። ያ ነው ደግሞ ለብዙ ጊዜ ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ ሰዎች ፊልም ሰርተው ሰልችቷቸው የሚወጡት ገንዘባቸው ሳይመለስ ስራቸው ሳይ ሪስፔክት ሳይደረግላቸው ፊልም ኢንዱስትሪ እንደውም ትተው ይወጣሉ። ብዙ ጊዜ ሰው ስናገኝ ትተው ወጥተዋል፣ ሌላ ስራ ላይ ገብተዋልና ይሄንን ያክል ድረስ የደረሰ ፊልም ድካሙ የታወቀበት ስለሆነ ሌሎች ፊልም ሰሪዎችም የነ ሞገስም ሌሎች ፕሮጀክቶች ሁሉ በትልቅ በኢንተርናሽናል ሌቭል ታይቶ መስረቅና ኮፒ ማድረግ መጥፎ እንደሆነ ህዝቡ ሁሉ እንዲያቀም ደግሞ ያስፈልጋል። ይሄንን ነው ደግሞ ካምፔን ማድረግ ያለብን ማለት ነው እና ጥሩ ምሳሌ ሆኗል ማለት ነው ይሄ ፊልም። Thank you.
Okay, I think now we're gonna go to the next clip.
ማናት ማ ቅኔ ሚስትር ዘውዱ ተሞት ታላኛለህ
ጭራሽ አጥሬን አልፈ አለን
I had a question, I think, from a Mesfin who wanted to ask the film crew and Mogus, but we've heard quite a lot from Mogus, so I'd like to hear from the crew, if that's okay. Mesfin, do you want to unmute yourself and ask your question?
I would like to say thank you to everyone, especially Mogus, which thank you to see you again. You know, it's a weird time to see everyone in Zoom. And now more, especially Tadias Magazine and habeshaview. But I'm thank you ላችሁ ፈልጋለሁ በዚህ አጋጣሚ እኛ የሀበሻ ግሩፕ get together group ነን እና ጥያቄ ሜንሊ ለሞገስ ነው። ሞገስ ይሄንን ፊልም ተሰራ I'm sure as a historical ነው plus ደግሞ is going to teach the young generation የሆነ ነገር መልእክት መተው የምትፈልግ ይመስላል, which is good. ሁለት ነገር አለ እዚህ። አንደኛው religious law ነው፣ አንደኛው ደግሞ justice by the cultural system እና ሁለቱን አጣምረ ያሳየው ነው። በጣም ደስ ይላል። እና ጥያቄው ምንድነው how does that relate into today's world? እና አሁን የሚቀጥለው ጄኔሬሽን ፒክ አድርገው እንዲሄድ what is the message, ሌላ message is like hidden message ካለው what would that be? And which how do you like other people to remember ያንተን በምን እንዳስታውሱ ትፈልጋለህ? እና የሚቀጥለው ስራ ደግሞ እዚህ ላይ ለምሳሌ ፓርት 2 ቢኖረው ምን ይመስላል? እሱ እንድትመልስልኝ እፈልጋለሁ።
አመሰግናለሁ። ህይወቴ ቅር ካላለሽ ሌሎቹንም ማሳተፍ እንዳልሽው ሌሎቹንም እንጋብዝና
I think so.
ሁላችንም ኤክስፒሪየንስ ላደረግነው ይሄን ፊልም this is our experience for all of
I think
the
it's better.
crew and talent. So what is the message for the young generation filmmakers? What are our legacy? So they can respond for that. So to begin with, let's give the chance for Billy.
Okay, Billy, where are you?
እንደ ኤክስፒሪየንስ እኔም ከዚህ በፊት የሰራኋቸው ብዙ ፊልሞች ነበሩ። ስፔሻሊ አሁን ፊልም እየተሰራ ያለው ያንግ ጄኔሬሽን ላይ ነው እና በራሱ ፓሽን በራሱ ኢንተረስት ያለምንም ድጋፍ ያለበቂ ማቴሪያል ያለበቂ ትምህርት ቤት ዕውቀት ነው እየሰራ ያለውና ከስተታችን እየተማርን ነው እየሰራን ነው የምንማረው እንሰራለንም እንሰራለንምና እንዲህ አይነት ስቶሪ ብዙ ጊዜ ለመስራት ወጣቱ ፊልም ሰሪ ጋር ይፈሩታል ቢፈልጉትም ይፈሩታል። አንደኛ የፕሮዲዩሲንግ ችግር አለ፣ በጀት ሁለት በጀትሽን አውጥተሽ እንኳን ብትሰሪው ቅድም እንደተባለው ፊልሙ ይሰረቃል፣ ተደራሽነቱ ትንሽ ነው። ያንን ገንዘብ መልሶ ድጋሚ ፊልም የመስራት እድሉ ላይ ይገኝ ይችላል ወይም ደግሞ አንዴ ብቻ ሰርቶ ከዛ በኋላ ወደ ፊልሙ ያለ መመለስ ነገሮች ስላሉ ቀለል ያለ የከተማ ሲን ቀለል ያለ ቲም ቀለል ያለ ስቶሪ ይነሳና በዛው መንገድ ይሰራል ማለት ነውና ያ ወዴትም የማያራምድ ነበርና የሞገስ አይነት ፕሮዲዩሰር በመገኘቱ በመጀመሪያ ማጊ በጣም ነው ማመሰግነው። እንደ ያነ ፊልም ሊሰራ ሲመጣ በጣም ነው ኤክሳይትድ የሆንኩት። ፈራሁትም ሚኔሴስ እንደ አይነት ፊልም በእኛ ኤክስፒሪየንስ መሰራት ይችላል ወይ እውን አቡጀዲ ላይ ማየት እንችላለን ወይ በስክሪፕቱ ሌቭል ስክሪን ማድረግ እንችላለን ወይ የሚለው ነበር የኔ ፍራቻዬና ክሩ ሴሌክሽን ነበር ከኔ በታችም ጋፈር አሲስታንት ካሜራማን ግሪፕ ብዙ ፕሮዳክሽን ክሮች አብረውን ነበሩ እነሱንም ከዲሲፕሊን ጀምሮ ምክንያቱም ይሄ በገንዘብ ብቻም በፕሮዲዩሰር ስለተገኘ ብቻም አይደለም ትልቅም ስቶሪ ስለሆነ ሲሪየስሊ ታይቶ መሰራት አለበትና የምር ፊልም የሚወድ አቅም ያለው ገቶ ያለው ጥግ ድረስ ምንም ቻሌንጅ ቢመጣ ጨርሶ የሚወጣትኝ ይፈልግ ነበር ከዛ አንፃር ወጣቶች ነበርን ክሮቹ መሸነፍን አይፈልጉም አሻራቸው እዚህ ላይ እንዲያርፍ ይፈልጋሉ በኢትዮጵያ ታሪክም ወደ ኋላ ተሄዶ ሲሰራ 100 ዓመት ወደ ኋላ ተሄዶ ሲሰራ ይሄ መጀመሪያ ነውና ከደርጋ አንሻገርም ወደ ኃይለስላሴ እንኳን የተሄደው አትሌቱ ፊልም ላይ ነው እሱም እንደ ባክግራውንድ ወደ ኋላ ተመልሶ ነው የተሄደውና 100 ዓመት ያልተኖረ ህይወት የማናቀውን ትርክቱ ከመጽሐፍና ከወረቀት ባልዘለለ ኤክስፒሪየንስ ያላረግነውን ስቶሪ ባቡጀዲ ላይ እውን አርጎ ልንሰራ መነሳቱ በመጀመሪያ ጸሎትም ይፈልጋል ብሎ ስቶሪውም ስለተጻፈ ብቻም አይደለምና ብዙ ወጣቶች መስራት ይፈልጋሉ ማሳየት ይፈልጋሉ ግን እንደዚህ አይነት ደፍረ ተገብቶ ብሩ እንዴት ይመለሳል ኦዲየንስ እንዴት ይገኛል የድረስ መሻገር እንችላለን ኢቭን እንደሚታወቀው መንግስት የሚደግፈው ኢንዱስትሪ አይደለም ከአልኮልና ከሲጋራ ከጎጂ ጋር የሚመደብ ኢንዱስትሪ ነው አያበረታቱትም ምክንያቱም ሲኒማው አደገ ማለት መንግስትንም ክሪቲሳይዝ ያደርጋል ጀነሬሽንን ቢልድ ያደርጋል ሶሳይቲን ይቀይራል የመንቃትም ነገር መቀጣጫም የመስጠት ጉዳይ አለና እንደሚታወቀው ብዙ በመደንዘዝ ውስጥ ነው ያለነው ከውጪ የምንቀበላቸው እንጂ ከኛ የሚወጡ ነገሮች አይበረታቱም ማለት ከኢትዮጵያውያን ወጥቶ ለሌላ የመትረፍ የመስጠት የማሳየት ሳይሆን የመቀበል የማየት ማለት ተመልካቾች ብቻ ነበር ሶ የኛን ስቶሪ ደግሞ መንገር ይተበቅብናል ለዛውም ልክ ላይሆን ይችላል ዲስቨርጅ ያልሆነ ስቶሪያችን ማንነታችን አቢዩዝ ያልተደረገ በጣም የሚገርም ስቶሪ ነው ማለት ያኔ ዓለም ባልነቃ በደነዘዘበት ሰዓት ላይ ኢትዮጵያ የፍትህ ስርዓቷ በጣም ነው የሚገርመው የሰው ልጅ ሞራል ያኔ የነበሩት አያቶቻችንና ቅድመ አያቶቻችን ያላቸው የሞራል ልዕልና የት ይደረሰ ነው ማለት በአንድ ነጠላ ሜንታሊ ነበር አሁን በትልቅ ፕሪዝን ውስጥ በብረት ውስጥ በፍርግርግ ውስጥ ሆነን ከላይ ማማ ላይ ታወር ላይ ተሆኖ መሳሪያ ተደግኖ እየተጠበቀን እስረኞች ማንታሰር ሰዎች ነን ያኔ ግን ለህሊናቸው ነበር በአንድ ነጠላ የሚታሰሩት ሶ ይሄን ስቶሪ ለመስራት ድልም ይፈልጋል የሞገስ አይነት ፕሮዲዩሰርም ያስፈልገናልና በዚህ መንገድ ብዙ ስለማይገጥሙን የተሻለ እኛን የመግለጽ ድሉን የምናገኝበት ፊልም አንሰራም ሁለት ደግሞ አቢዩዝ ተደርጓል ፊልም ሜከሩ ምክንያቱም ከውጪ የሚመጣልንን ፊልም ብቻ ነው የሚጫንብን ስለዚህ እነሱን የሚመስል ስቶሪ ነው የምንሰራው ሶ የራሳችንን ቋንቋ የራሳችንን ስቶሪ የራሳችንን መልክ ካልሰራን ዓለም እኛን አይቀበለንም በልዩነት እንደ ሜዳያ መመሳሰል ነው ሶ ኢትዮጵያ ፊልሟን ይዛ ስትመጣ የራሷን ነገር ይዛ መምጣት አለባት ማለት ከሜዳያዮች መሃል የተለየ ፈረስ ሆኖ መታየት ካልቻለን እንደ ሜዳያ ጅንጉርጉር ከሆነ የተለየን አይደለም ምን ሆነው ስለዚህ ቁራኛዬ ለዚህ ትልቅ ምሳሌ ነው አኗኗራቸው ይለያል አለባበሳቸው ይለያል የፍትህ ስርዓታቸው ይለያል ያማማር የቆሎ ትምህርት አንድ ተማሪ የሚከፍለው ዋጋ ይለያል እና ያኔ የነበረው የሶሳይቲው የሞራል ልዕልናው ትልቅ ነበር ሶ ይሄን ይዘንስን እንደዚህ አይነት ፊልሞች ይዘን ብንቀርብ እኛን በተሻለ ኢንተርፕሬት የሚያደርግ የሚያንጸን የእውነትም ማለት ቀደምትነን ኢትዮጵያኖች ብለን ስናስብ ጀስት ሉሲን ወይም አንድ አጽም መጥራት አይደለም ኑሯችንን መናገር አለበት ማንነታችን መተረክ አለበት የእውነት የሞራል ፊልም ነው ይሄኛው ፊልም እና ቅድም ማጊ እንዳለው ኮሎናይዝ ያስደረገ ስቶሪ ነው ስቶሪውም ጭምር አሁን ነፃ ሆነናል ብለን የምንሰራቸው ከረንትሊ የምንሰራቸው ፊልሞች ኮሎናይዝ ተደርገዋል በዌስተርን ፊልሞች በቦሊውድ ፊልሞች ኮሎናይዝ ተደርገዋል የነሱ አይነት የፍቅር አገላለጽ የነሱ አይነት ቋንቋ የነሱ አይነት አለባበስ ነው እዛ ውስጥ ከአማርኛ ቋንቋ ውጪ የኢትዮጵያ አይደንቲቲ የኢትዮጵያን ፊልም ነው የሚባል አይደንቲቲ የለውም ብዙ ጫናም ስላለ የተሻለ ፊልምም ለመስራት ቅድም እንደተባለው የፊልም እድገቱ ትምህርት ቤቱ ፕሮዲዩሲንጉ ማርኬቱ ሌባው ፊልም የሚሰርቀው ኢቭን መንግስት የማይደግፈው በዚህ ኮንዲሽን ውስጥ ትልልቅ ፊልም ለመስራት ቻሌንጅም አለ ቢሞከርም ከአንዴ በላይ አይሰራም ያን ፊልም የሰራ ሰው ወድቆ ነው የሚገኘው ድጋሚ ማንሰራራት የማይችልበት መንገድ ውስጥ ነው የሚገባው እንዲህ አይነት ፊልሞች መበረታታት አለበት መበረታታ ሲባል ፊልም ሰሪው ብቻ ይስራም ሳይሆን ለዚህ አይነት ፊልም ሰሪ ውጭ ሀገር አሁን ሌሎች ሀገሮች ፈንድ ይደረጋሉ እንዴ ሶሳይቲውን ጀነሬሽኑን ቢልድ የሚያደርግ ስቶሪ እንትን ፈንድ ይደረጋሉ የኛ ሪል ሂሮ አሉ እኛ ስፓይደርማን አያስፈልገንም ማለት ክሬት የተደረገ ኢማጂኔሽን አክተር ኢማጂነሪ አክተር አያስፈልገንም ሪል ስፓይደርማኖች አሉ ሪል አይረን ማኖች አሉ እኛ በእውነት የተኖረ ያሉ ታሪኮች ወደ ኋላ ስንመለስና አያቶቻችን ለኛ ባትማኖች ናቸው እንትናቸው ማለት ሂሮዎቻችን ናቸው ሌላ ቦታ አልፈልገንም ልጆቻችንን ጀግና አርጎ ብቁ አርጎ ሳይኮሎጂካሊም ሜንታሊም ሁሉም ነገርም አይደንቲቲውን አቢዩዝ ሳናደርግ ራሳችንን መገንባት የሚያስችለን የራሳችን ናሬት የምናረጋቸው ስቶሪዎች አሉ ሌላ ኢማጂኔሽን አክተሮች ወይም በምናብ የሳልናቸው አክተሮች አያስፈልጉንም ሶ ወደ ራሳችን ካልተመለስን ወደ ሌላው መራመድ አንችልም መጋባት መድረስ አንችልም ስለዚህ ሰው ለሌላ ሰው ራሱን ለማሳየት ራሱን መጀመሪያ ማየት ይተበቅበታል ስለዚህ ታሪኮቻችንን ለመፈለግ ሌላ ሀገር ወይም ሌላ ቦታ የሌላ ፊልም ማየት አይተበቅብንም የራሳችን ስቶሪ ወደ ኋላ ተመልሰን ካየን ሌሎችን መግለጽና መንገር እንችላለንና ካለው አሁን በቴክኖሎጂ ነው ሞደርን ኮሎናይዝድ እየተደረገን ያለ ነው ልንዋጋ የምንችለውም በዚህ መንገድ ነው ሶ የራሳችንን ስንሰራ ነው ራሳችንን ምን ሆነውና ይሄን ለማለት ፈልጋለሁ
በጣም ጥሩ okay as time is passing I think we should move to our next clip which is on the theme of community
ለሌላው መቀጣጫ እንድትሆን ቆለጠፍ አደባባይ
በእያንዳንዱ ቃል አንዳንድ ጅራፍ 10 ጅራፍ ትቀጣለህ
I can open the floor up again for more questions ሌላ ጥያቄ ካላችሁ but if you'll permit I would like to ask one question which is on the theme of women and so I'm going to ask because of that I'm going to ask either Yemisrach or Tigist to answer it just as a spectator as a normal audience member for me it was very powerful to see the role of powerful women It was a queen. It was she who dispensed justice, and ultimately the woman had choice in the end. So how important was that to the whole film? And what do you think about that? And I would also like to translate it, I guess, for Yemisrach, I guess, unless you understood the question. የሴቶችን ሚና እንዴት ነበር ያገኘሽው? ወደ ኋላ ቢሄድም ኃይለኛ ሴቶች ናቸው እዛ ላይ ያየናቸውና ምርጫም ያላቸው የራሳቸውን ህይወት መምራት የሚችሉ እንደገና በንግስት ነው የተዳኘው ጉዳዩ ያንን እንዴት ተወስጨዋለሽ
አሁን ያልሽውን ሁኔታዎች የምናየው በሁለቱ ገጸ ባህሪያት ነው በአለሚና በንግስቲቷ በመጀመሪያ የራሴን ኤክስፒሪየንስ ልንገርሽ እናት ከሆንኩ ቅርብ ጊዜያት ነው ከዛ በፊት ማያት በቅርብ የኔ እናት አለች በተጨማሪም ደግሞ የምናያቸው ፊልሞች ላይ ያሉ የተቀረጹ የሴት ካራክተሮች አሉ አብዛኛው ሴት ገጸ ባህሪዎች በፊልሞቻችን ላይ የምናያቸው ተጨቋኝ የራሳቸው አመለካከት የሌላቸው ማቴሪያሊስት ምን ብዬ ላስረዳሽ ብቻቸው መቆም መሄድ የማይችሉ ኢቭን ባክግራውንዳቸው የትምርታቸው የምናቸው ሁሉ ሲሰላ ከጀርባቸው ይሆን አንድ ወንድ ይቀመጣል ይስመስ ብቻቸውን ቆመው ይሆን ነገር አቺቭ ሲያደርጉ አንመለከት እናቴ ነው ያለው እናቴ ላይ የማየውን ባህሪ ምናልባት ማጋነን ካልሆነ ንግስት ዘውዲቱ ላይ ይቻላል ወደ ፊልሙ ስንመለስ አለሜና ንግስት ዘውዲቱ ላይ ያለው ይህ ነው ፓወር ፍቅር ፍትህ አሸናፊነት ታይዋለሽ በራስ መተማመኗ ዘውዲቱ ላይ ብዙ ከጀርባዎቿ የሚገፉት ብዙ ነገሮች እናያለን ከባሏ መሞት ጀምሮ ያን ሁሉ ግን ቆማ የምትቆምበት ግርማዋን ደርባባነቷን ተመልከቻለሽ ይህ አሁንኛ ጋር የለም እውነት ለመናገር እኛ ወጣቶቹ ጋር በጣም ለምን ብለን ስንመለከት የሚሰጠን በርግጥ እናቶቻችን አሉ እንዳልኩሽ ከዘዞር ብለን ስናያቸው እኛም ማለን ግን አርት ለርኒንግ እንደ ኮሚኒኬሽን ቱል ነውና ኮሚኒኬሽን ቱሉ የተሰበረ ይመስለኛል እዛ ጋር ስንመለከት ማለት እንዳልኩሽ አቺቭ የምታረግ ስትሮንግ የሆነች ካራክተር ብትቀመጥልሽ እንኳን ከጀርባዋ ደጋፊ ይቀመጥላታል ስትታለቅስ ስትሸነፍ ወንዶች ሲደበድቧት አፍቅራ እንኳን አትጠይቅ አትመለከች እና ሁለቱ ላይ ያለ ኮመን ካራክተሪስቲክስ እንመለከት ላይ ትልቅ ኃይል እንትመልከቻለሽ ብዙ ነገሮችን አቺቭ የማድረግ ስትራግሎችን የማሸነፍ ሁለቱ ላይ ይመለከታለውና ወደኛ የሚያጋባ ዓለም የምትመለከች በርግጥ ዓለምን በመሸነፍ ውስጥ ያገኛችሁ ፍትህ ቢሆንም መስዋዕትነቷን አድንቂያለሁ በመስዋዕትነት ውስጥ በፍትህ ውስጥ የምትወደውን ሰው አግኝታለችና ለኛ ለሴቶች አሁን ብዙዎቻችን ያቃተን የማብቃት ሴቶችን ኤምፓወርመንት የማድረግ ሁኔታን በሁለቱ ሴቶች ላይ እንደ ኮመን ካራክተሪስቲክስ አስቀምጠው ማጊ እንደ ካራክተራይዜሽን ያቀረበበት መንገድ በጣም ልንማርበት እኔ የሚያስገርመኝ ትልቅ ነገር ነው። ሼር ብናደርገው ሁላችንም ሴቶች ደስ ይለኛል። ሌሎችም ደግሞ ጸሐፊዎች ሴት ልጅ በዚህ መልኩ ባይስሏት አሉ በጣም ብዙ ጀግና ሴቶች። እኔም አለው፣ እናቴም አለች፣ አንቺም አለሽ። ብዙ ቤተሰቦቻቸውን በጀርባቸው ይዘው ማስተዳደር መቻል ማለት በራሱ ትልቅ ኃይል ነውና እነሱን እናቶች ማሳየት ብቻል ደስ ይለኛል።
Thank you. Tigist, I don't know if you want to just comment.
I think just quickly I will comment because we're seeing very powerful. Yeah, so we're seeing a lot of powerful women all over the world, but it's also going to Ethiopia and Africa. I think as a role model, we've all had our mothers, maybe grandmothers, aunts, but now it's becoming acceptable, I think, to see a strong, powerful woman and not look at her as being abnormal. I think for a long time, a very powerful or strong woman has been looked at as being competing with men. But now I think, especially Zewditu was very powerful in a very quiet way. I think in the film, it's a shame that the character wasn't able to join us this evening, but she would have been fantastic. I think she was very strong, but very quietly rather than pushing her way through.
Yeah, definitely. And we're coming towards the end of our time together. So I think I'll open up the floor for one last question. If anyone had a burning question on any of the themes that we've covered, or if any of the panel were burning to say something, now is your time to say so. And then I'll be shortly handing back to Tigist to talk a little bit more about habeshaview. So anybody want to ask a question? Okay, I can see Mahalit has got her hand up.
Yes.
She's not spoken. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. I just want to ask how many of the actors were professionals, actors by profession, and how many were not? Just curious.
Who wants to answer?
Maybe I can answer this question. It is a very good question. As just previously I mentioned that I'm very much interested in historical drama films. When historical drama films are made, to have non-actors, who can represent the community, who can resemble their community. As we mentioned, it was made in Ankober. So we need people who just look like Ankober. So that was a very, challenging decision for us. Having a very competent or known film stars it's a very good decision. You can make the production very fast because they are very, very much talented. But as to the story, they couldn't match. For instance, if I need a Kolotamari, I can't imagine any of the film actor or actresses so far who have been involved in films. No one. So we have to have somebody new. So from the 14 lead characters, only one or two, and they are minor characters who have been involved in previous films. Otherwise, almost all are new talents. And that was a very good risk. As a director, it might take me additional time, effort, and commitment to train them. But when you just finally see in the image and in the screen, they are the right choice in terms of talent. Yeah, in short.
I have to say I agree with that in the sense that one of the things where we often fall down when we make films, I think across the continent, not just in Ethiopia, but when you are meaning to portray the rural poor and you go to them and they look like they live in the city. They look like me, they have too much makeup, they're big, they're fat, they're very glossy, they don't look authentic. And in your film, they did look authentic. So for me, that's something that worked. I think we have a question from Liban. And it's really going to be the last question.
Yes, thank you for everyone for participating. I just want to ask Moges to talk a little bit about the music.
Yeah, to say a little bit about the music. Thank you, Liban. As just Billy mentioned, this process, the entire process of making Quragnaye was a great opportunity for us to learn film. As you know, there is no film school in Ethiopia as such. So being ambitious to make one, we have to create our own school. And the best school is to make it, by any costs. If it is a success, if you lose, that is still a lesson. So that was the risk we took, and Quragnaye teach us a lot. But after the production, we just passed through the post-production process, and in the production room, when we just reached to the phase of scoring, there was a big debate in the team. For that matter, I have hired 3 composers, by the way, and 1 mixer and 3 composers who are involved in the production of the score. And also there are traditional music players for krar, for flute, for masinko, and for djembe. There is a kind of, kabaro or drum. We have 4 and 3 score, and there are 18 who produce the score, by the way. And when we have discussion about the score, I think 2 of the 3 composers recommend to have a kind of this modern music, musical instruments like piano, guitar, and they are very, very fond of those instruments. But it doesn't work. As a director, I just make a remark, I have to make a decision. Any musical instruments whom Gobeze and Alame don't know should not be part of this score. So I was very sure I don't have a musical background, but I'm dead sure these lead characters don't know about your piano, your guitar, and those sorts. They only know about krar, and I want to hear only the sound that they know. So finally they convinced it, and they try to come up with this kind of very interesting musical score. So the krar represents Gobeze, the masinko represents Gondute, and the flute represents Alame. And with that stance, they develop, kind of tzita and some melodies like Ararai, Izil, and they come up with this very interesting sound score, and it works very well for the film.
Okay, thank you. We're going to squeeze in one last question from Venus, and then I'm going to throw back to Tigist.
Okay, thank you very much. And sorry I've come in at the last minute. There were 2 very quick questions that I wanted to ask. The first one is, to what extent has the film been popularized through the print media, particularly outside of Ethiopia, in Europe? So I'm thinking about aspects of the music that Mogos just talked about and other aspects of the film. And the second one is, to what extent has COVID-19 affected its marketing internationally?
Okay, maybe Tigist, do you want to answer?
Yeah, Tigist, that's also Tigist.
Well, thank you, Venus. Good points. Well, COVID has actually changed our plan. So what it's done is, rather than going on tour and doing more of the screening in London, the idea was we were going to be traveling around other European countries as well as Israel to show the film in big cinemas, as we did. I think, Venus, you were there at Rich Mix. I recognize you. That was the idea. It was going to do a bit more touring. It was going to go a bit more festival before we can actually put it on our platform. So it's been prematurely brought forward. So that's something I was going to say a bit later as well. Because nobody knows how long this current pandemic was going to go along, and films to this standard have to be seen. The whole idea, and Mogos will agree with me, is we want as much exposure for this film to be seen by as many people as possible, ideally in cinemas, but if not, on platforms like ours. Marketing, print media, we've been very fortunate to go with Mogos also. First of all, the way Mogos and I was introduced is we had a mutual friend. It's the president of IFTA, who's actually one of our partner. So who's the one who's brought us together, introduced us both, and that's when we started this relationship. They've been very good, as well as the habeshaview team in Synergy Habesha, to promote the film, both in Ethiopia internationally. It has had a lot of publicity with various, I can't think of the list at the moment, but I can send that to you, with a lot of international print media. It's been advertised, and it's got a lot of good publicity within Ethiopia as well. The COVID has brought it forward for us to put on a platform quicker than we would have done. And I would follow on with that, I think, yeah.
Thank you so much. So I think that really brings us to the end of the panel discussion. We're pushing after 11:30 p.m. in Ethiopia, so I don't think we can keep going for any longer. Thank you so much for your time, for joining us, for your energy. And I'm throwing back to Tigist now.
I know it's very, sometimes it's good to have it short and sweet rather than very long and people disappear. We did debate about the timing. This is one of many we will be holding. One thing I wanted to say again is I would like to say thank you to the participants who've always made the time to come and be part of this first panel. I would like to also thank Liban and Hewete. Following from that, earlier we touched on how hard it is to make Ethiopian films and the rewards are not as much. And at habeshaview, what we're trying to do is change a bit of the culture by saying to people, go and pay and watch this film, rather than so that the filmmakers will be able to actually recoup some of the money. Also, we go and watch in cinemas. We go and spend X amount at a particular platform. And that's what we're trying to say in a very nominal amount on our platform. At the moment, the film is available only on habeshaview. And we've had good response. But I think it's important that I'm talking about myself as well, we move away from the free content of YouTube when we see so many things, and the filmmakers sometimes do get some money, but they hardly make the money as much as the effort it's taken. So I would say that's one thing I would say. I would also like to say thank you to Tulip Addis for hosting the cast and crew on behalf of us. I would like to thank you to them, and then that would be it. And I'll pass it on to you, Helen, and also thank you to Liban.
Okay, well, I think that's all from me. I'm going to say thank you very much. I can't say good night because some of us may be in the US, but good evening, good night. Thank you so much. But thank you all for your energy and have a good evening.
እሺ አንዴ ዝም በሉ። አሁን የታሪክ ጊዜ ነው። የንታንና አድምጥ።
በጥንቃቄ አድምጡኝ። በመናገሻው እንጦጦ በቅርቡ የሆነ ነው።
በላል በልሃ ያጤ ስርዓቱን የመሰረቱን አልናገርም ሐሰቱን ምን ጊዜም እውነቱን